I've resigned from my position at Manila Monte, and we are now in search of a new job. The problem, though, is there are currently no jobs available for any club in the Philippines. The only job available is the one that I've just resigned from, and I'm not going back there. And if we scroll all the way down here, there are a couple of insecure jobs, but they are at Loyola and Tuloy, who finished 15th and 16th respectively. So that would be a significant step down if we were to go there. And then otherwise, there's effectively nothing, and everyone else has at least stable job security. In all of the time that I have played Football Manager in a long-term save, I have never resigned from a position before. And it seems like the one time that I've decided to do it on a whim, I've chosen the absolute worst time when there are no jobs available. But at this point, there's nothing left to do but to continue the game forward and hope that a job opens up. So this episode is going to be dedicated to finding a new job in the Philippines. That being said, it's currently May 13th and we're still in like the Champions playoffs. So I guess the season hasn't technically ended yet. So there should be jobs that open up once the season completely finishes. So hopefully we'll be able to continue forward to then and some jobs will open up. I've been asked what my immediate thoughts are in the wake of my resignation from the Manila Monte job. I'm going to say it wasn't a decision I took lightly, but I do feel like it's the best for me. We need to find a way to move forward with our coaching badges. I'm doing what I can to go forward in my career. Well, the season has ended, and unsurprisingly, Mendiola are once again champions of the Philippines, winning in the playoff final. But now that the season has ended, there are still no open jobs. I really hope this doesn't take too long. There are still no job openings available. And Manila Monte even still, they haven't brought in a new head coach either. I'm starting to actually get worried we might not get a job until next season. Well, I've moved more than a month forward. We are on June 16th. And finally, Manila Monte have signed a new manager. Richard Leibel here, and he comes from, if you look at his milestones here, he comes from Manila Digger. So they now have a head coaching opportunity available. So they finished last season in, let's see, where did they finish last season? Last season they finished in 12th, so we would be doing a rebuild, but it is literally the only job available in the entirety of the Philippines at this point. I think all we can do is apply for the job. I mean, we kind of have to go for it at this point. There is nothing else available. I mean, it would be a step down, but it's all we've got. Well, we still don't have any news, and I applied for that job almost a week ago at this point. However, we are the leading candidate for the job at Manila Digger. So we should get an interview for it at least. I mean, we're a month and a half away from when I resigned. I did not think that it would take this long. We finally have a job interview. I thought this would never come, but we have a job interview for the vacancy at Manila Digger. Let's attend this interview. I don't really know if this is the job that we want. It just might be the job that we need. All right. Can you ease concerns about your lack of experience? Dude, I have done so well so far. We have been doing a great job with Manila Monte, and we're gonna say that. Yeah, we're gonna choose this option right here. At the limited time as head coach, we've done very well. You're looking to make a step up. Can you handle that? Of course we can handle that. That's what we're here for. That's why we're getting the job. Yeah, we're gonna choose that. Doesn't look great. So cavalier with the finances. We were in a great financial position when we left the club. What do you mean we've been? Just because we were over the wage budget, we were in a brilliant finance. I don't like any of these options here. None of these are good. I'm not going to make a promise. We're absolutely not doing that. We'll just dismiss it, I think. I don't like that question. We'll dismiss it. All right. Locker room atmosphere. Yeah, we can make a promise for locker room atmosphere. That's fine. Or we can convince them. Uh, we'll go. I don't want to make promises, so we can go with that. Yeah, we can do that. I feel like all of these are going to be very similar types of questions. We usually get similar questions on interviews, but we'll go through all of them anyways. Changes. I never say, whenever we do that, I never say we're making any changes to the coaching team. I don't actually know if that affects the job interview. If it doesn't, let me know, because then I could say stuff. But I always feel like, keeping the general manager, keeping all that in place is fine. What are their objectives? Avoid finishing bottom of the football league. I mean, that's pretty easy, so I'm fine with that. I mean, we shouldn't have an issue with any of these promises. Payroll's fine. We can work with that. And last thing here. Oh, I can ask for a coaching course. Oh, I'm gonna ask for a coaching course. Yeah, let's ask for a coaching course. Why won't you give me? I can help the team more with a coaching course. I'm gonna threaten. We're gonna threaten. All right, we're not taking this job then. Someone give me a coaching course, man. Well, we're back on the job hunt again. I genuinely do not know if we're going to get a job before the next season begins. There are no other jobs open in the Philippines. I really wonder if I'm going to need to move countries and come back to the Philippines. Maybe we could move country. We could go to like Singapore, or we could try for the J League. We could just go somewhere else to try and get a job, and maybe we could get some coaching badges and then keep on looking at the job center to come back to the Philippines. I really don't know. I don't know where we're going to go from here. Okay, looks like we just needed to go to the 30th of June at the end of all the contract situations. But we finally have job openings now that it seems like some contracts have expired. United City has parted company with their manager. The Aguilas manager has moved into the general manager role, so their job position is open. Tuloy, who I'm not super keen on, also has a job opening, as well as Air Force. Really, three of these jobs are really good opportunities. So last season, none of these clubs finished in the playoff positions, but Air Force finished ninth. And I do think they're a better team than Manila Monte, than the team we had last season. United City and Aguilas did finish above us, and Tuloy finished in last place. But I think these three here are good options for us. But given how the luck has been so far in this job hunt, we are applying to all of them. So I'm going to apply for the Aguilas position. I'm going to apply for the Air Force position. I'm going to apply for the Tuloy position. And we are going to apply for the United City position. All right. Let's hope that we get something from these jobs. All right, this is what we want to see. Now we're moving forward. We're moving forward quickly. We have job interviews at Tuloy and United City. We are going to do these two interviews here. I am going to do the United City job interview first. I assume all of the questions are going to be the same. Yeah, all of the questions are going to be the same. So I'll go through the questions here, and if we see anything interesting, I will talk about that. All right, the club expectations are build a new stadium. That's interesting. And reach the Football League playoffs. All right, I think that is something that we can work with. I'm happy to agree to that. Although there they say type half finish, which top half finish is even better. I'm very happy to do that. Transfer budget looks good. Actually, it's a pretty good transfer budget. Super happy with that. Also, payroll is pretty high, especially compared to what we were working with. So no complaints there. And let's see if we can ask for a coaching course. Yeah, okay, we can't. I'm just gonna accept that. All right. We need this job potentially, so I will accept at this point. And we'll move into the Toloy FC interview, which, yeah, all the same stuff here as well. They have super low expectations for the club, which is awesome. Totally fine to work with that. If we were here, we can agree to everything they're looking at. So I'm totally fine with that. Honestly, a pretty good transfer budget. That's more than we had at Milamonte. Wage budget is also higher than Manila Monte, so I'm happy to agree to that. Everything looks good. Can we get a coaching course? No. All right, we need a job at this point, so I'll just accept what we've got. And the last two job interviews have come through. So we've gotten job interviews at every single club we've applied for. I will once again try for the coaching courses. If any of the two teams here does offer us the coaching course, we'll pretty much take it immediately. But something tells me we aren't going to be able to get a coaching course, or at least be able to negotiate for a coaching course in these interviews. Well, let's see how these go too. All right, let's get stuck in with the Aguilas interview here. Again, all the same stuff. So we'll move forward to the expectations. Looks like long term, the club just wants to reach the Football League playoffs. That's something that I think we can do. But they want a top half finish, same as United City. I'm totally fine with that. Like, that is something we can absolutely achieve. I mean, we did that with Manila Monte. All right, transfer budget, that's fine. Wage budget, again, it's higher than Manila Monte. Like, we have better resources than what we had at Manila Monte. All right, can we get a coaching course? Still no. All right, that's fine. And we shall conclude our interview list here with Air Force. All the same stuff again. How are we looking for club expectations? Just a mid-table finish. That is fine. We can do that easily. We will have no trouble if we just want a mid-table finish. That is perfectly fine. Solid transfer budget as well. We'll take that. Again, a higher wage budget. Totally fine with that. All right. Will they offer us a coaching course? No. All right. Well, we need a job at this point, so we'll go with that. All right. Now we have a decision to make. First up, we have Aguilas. They are the first team to offer us a job, which is good to see. Aguilas is a team I would be really happy to go to. The expectations, reach Football League, top half finish, that's going to be easy. Latter stages of the PFL Cup, as long as we don't get Mendiola, we should be able to do that. Promises are an issue. Got a 4K transfer budget. That's too bad. A much better payroll budget, though, than we had at Manila Monte. This would definitely be a step up. Let's take a look at the players and see who they've got. They got a big squad. Looks like they signed their entire youth intake. But look at their stars. So the star player is Shoma Sato. Yeah, he's really good. Good pace, good jumping reach. Yeah, he's a really good center back. He is absolutely a star player. Uzoka here is actually a player I really like in game. He's pretty good too. Actually, he's not amazing. 32 years old. Songwoo here. I think we might have had Songwoo in the Mendiola save, or he was a player I looked at signing. But he's okay. He's not great, to be honest with you. See, Tyler Matas, good pace. He's a really good player. Connor Takagni, he's a pretty good player too. Is he better than Jasperman Johari though? Is Aguilas really that good of a team? Stephen Appia here. Yeah, I guess he's pretty good. The only thing that's worrying me about Aguilas is they do look a bit old, don't they? Like 32, 29, 32, 30, 30, 29. They aren't the youngest team in the world. They do have John Ronces, though. We love John Ronces. He was one of the best players early on in the Mendiola save. I'm going to hold off on deciding here with the Aguilas option. I'm going to delay it for a week, and they do agree to the delay. Let's see what the Air Force United City, we're not going to do Toloy probably. I think we can roll out Toloy now that we have this Aguilas offer. But let's see what those other two jobs look like if we get them. All right, one day later, and we have all of the job offers. So Aguilas approached us here, but we have Air Force, we have Toloy, and we have United City. So Air Force have a bigger transfer budget but a lower payroll than Aguilas. Toloy have a surprisingly large transfer budget. That's making me wonder if we should consider them. And then United City have the biggest transfer budget and they have the biggest payroll. Okay, things are interesting. All right, let's take a look at Air Force here. Let's take a look at their squad and see if we like them. So they got a number of youngsters, breakthrough prospects. Apparently somebody I've looked at before, Nicola Cinque. But they have a small squad actually. So their star players are these guys here, but they don't have a whole lot of big names in the team. So Juan Gonzalez here, he's a center mid. He's okay. He's not great. Anguiso Barbosa here. Here's a player we had, I believe, at Mendiola early on. He's not very good. I'm not gonna lie, the Air Force team isn't very good. Paul Concepcion, oh, he's good. Oh, wow, he's really good. Wow, he's awesome for this level. Okay, it's making me consider it. He could be a 20 plus goal a season striker. Mood Ali, he is not very good. Good pace. If he was a wing back, I think he'd be really good. Maybe not a good center back. Noel Brago. Tell you what, I'm not getting a good vibe from Air Force here. I think if I took on this club, the biggest problem is they've got all of these youngsters who they're bringing through, which limits the potential to sign new players because of the salary. Are they a semi-professional team? Oh, they're a semi-professional. Oh, that actually kind of changes things because then we can sign players to a semi-professional contract, which actually makes it it's difficult because it kind of makes it easier to sign players at this level because of the wage structure. You can offer bigger wages, but players don't really want to come to you. All right, well, consider Air Force here. They're an interesting option. I guess I will look at Toloy as well, just because they're offering a pretty good transfer budget. And they would be the easiest job. Just they might be difficult to build. Why do they've signed so many like breakthrough players, future prospects? That's such a big mistake at this level. It just ties up so much of the wage. They have a ton of Bruneian players who are mid. All right, Luke Pullen here. He's actually a player I've looked at and wanted to sign before. He's not bad. He's not very good, but he's not bad. John Estemo Gailon, another forward. Am I looking at this team and maybe thinking they're better than Air Force, to be honest? He's not terrible. He's not he's really bad. What am I saying? Uh, uh, honestly, they're not so I'm surprised that Toloy actually did so bad. They don't look so different from do you guys think they look a whole lot different from Air? I'm looking at this team and thinking they're more appealing than Air Force. They're not terrible actually. Okay, so right now I would probably well, okay, let's look at Aguilas again. Yeah, okay, Aguilas' players are so right now I think we can roll out Air Force and Toloy. And we're choosing between Aguilas and United City. I like Toloy better than Air Force. However, I think Aguilas is better than both of them. So our last option here is United City, which on paper here looks the best. 10K transfer budget, biggest payroll. They're definitely the best on paper, but do they have the best players? Immediately, they don't look as old as, yeah, they definitely don't look as old as Aguilas does. But actually, no, Bugas is good. Yeah, he's a good player. He's a player. If we played that asymmetric line, we could switch it so that the asymmetric is on the left, or so that our winger's on the left. And we can put Bugas as the fullback on attack on the right side, because he has those excellent physical attributes. The breaker here, I mean, he can play on the right too, though. We might not bring that asymmetric formation over. Good pace, dribbling and crossing for this level. He's pretty good. Aoki here. I think we know where we're going. Javier Gayoso, I think we know where we're going, guys. Arnel Amita. Yeah, this team is a lot better than Aguilas. How did this team finish outside of the playoff spots? It's a good team. This guy's in the midfield. He's pretty good. Christian's here. He's okay. He's 35 years old. Definitely, he's a player we get rid of. Okiagu. Okiagu's a player that we had at Mendiola, one of our mainstays. Good jumping reach. Oh yeah. All right, guys. This isn't a difficult decision. This is not a difficult decision. Let's not drag this out longer than it needs to be. We are starting negotiations with United City. We will take a 12-month contract, pretty good salary. Let's finalize that deal. We'll continue forward. And we are at United City. David Lee has made his way to United City, one of the most famous teams in the Philippines Football League. So an interesting thing about United City is they are one of the Philippines' most famous clubs and are still the most successful club in the history of the Philippines Football League. But because in real life they've encountered financial issues, I believe in the most recent season they weren't in the PFL. So an interesting note about United City there, but we are going to work to bring this club back up to its former glories, and we are going to look to take down Mendiola with United City here. My head coach timeline is absolutely hilarious. It's just we were hired as the head coach of Manila Monte. We resigned as the head coach of Manila Monte. We need to start winning some trophies. We need to start building up this nation. I think this is a club we can do with that. Season expectations, though, are so easy. It's just top half finish and reach quarterfinal of the PFL. That's something we can absolutely do. We're going to confirm that easily. I'll make a tactic once we've looked through the team and everything, but let's look at the finances. So currently, finances are in an okay spot. We can definitely improve those. But we've got 3K in the payroll to work with and 10K in the transfer budget. That's actually pretty solid. We have a lot of room to improve the squad. And speaking of the squad, we did see some of that when we were looking at the squad, but now we can take a real closer look at them. So we know the best players here, Ugas, DeBrucker, Aoki. We know those are players that we want to build around. How long are they here for? So nobody's contract is expiring this season. So that's good to see. Guy also is a player we're going to want to sign on a new contract. I know that immediately. G here, probably not. Arnel Amita, he's a player we might want to sign. He's 31 years old. Jordan Jarvis, I know he's a player I've looked at before, but he's not very good either. But looking at the best players here, we've got 2-star players down the right-hand side. We have 2 forwards. We'll definitely play a 2-striker system. We have a lot of players who can play on the right. That's interesting. We don't have a whole lot of left-sided players from the look of it. Can Bugats play on the left? We could retrain him to play him on the left. We could bring back our same tactic, that asymmetric tactic, I think, and that could work pretty well. But I think we definitely want to make sure the defense is good. So John Clarino here, he's actually not bad. I actually like John Clarino quite a lot. He is a solid center back. He'll definitely start for us. I know that I like Okiagu, and he's got potential, so he'll definitely start for us too. And G, I didn't like when we looked at him. Why do we have so many? Song Ji Hun's actually really good. Another player we had in the Mendiola save. But why do we have so many right mids? Where are all of our other players? And then we have some players who came through the academy here. Hill Cruz, Ariel Rodriguez, who's pretty good except for the fact that he can't run. Yeah, there are certainly some interesting players here. It just seems like we have a lot of right-sided players. And we've got like 4 good players who can play right back. This is such a strange team. Fortunately, it does look like we're good with the coaching staff. It looks like we're good with the recruitment team. I'll probably sign a coach and a scout just to fill out our staff. But otherwise, there's pretty good infrastructure here. The finances are pretty good. For this level, like the facilities and stuff are pretty good too. So I'm pretty happy with the team. I think we're in a good position here. And we are going to leave the episode here for now. So next episode will be a transfer special. So we'll go through, we'll try and sign some players for this squad. And we are back. We are rejuvenated. I really like where we are. I feel like we are at a team that can do well in the Philippines Football League. Can we finally challenge Mendiola? That's going to be the question for this season. But I hope you all have enjoyed this episode. This is New Beginnings for the Philippines Build a Nation Save. And I will see you all next time. Hope you all are doing well. Hope you all are taking care of yourselves. I'll see you all soon. Bye.